Hello and welcome to my Genius Hour TED Talk. So for my Genius Hour project, what I decided to do was learn to start painting. This was something I had always wanted to learn to do, but just never had put the time into learning. So when this Genius Hour project came about, I thought painting would be something interesting and fun for me to learn. So some of the motivations that I used during my Genius Hour project to keep up with my painting was I kept a picture. So first I went and chose a painting off of Pinterest, which I thought was something that I could do. I decided to do flowers because they're something that I like, and I would hope to hang this painting on my wall in the future. And I thought they would be something a little more for beginners, as I am a beginner painter. So I printed off a picture that I found on Pinterest that I was basing my piece off of, and I taped it up on my wall just as a reminder every kind of day when I was working on any other homework to remember to keep up with my Genius Hour and to keep up with my painting, as it is something that I wanted to take the time to learn. As well, I would leave my paint supplies on my desk as well, just as a reminder to keep motivating myself to get out the paint supplies, or get out the paint and work on my Genius Hour project. I found these motivations helpful throughout the Genius Hour project, as one thing I did find difficult was taking the time to do something like painting when I had all these other more academic assignments, such as reports and lesson plans and things like that, that I had to remind myself that this Genius Hour project was just as important as any other project, and that I need to take the time every week to work on my painting skills and working towards that end goal of being able to paint my own picture. And the last thing I did as a motivation for my Genius Hour project was use my phone background was a picture of the painting that I was basing my piece off of from Pinterest. So this was anytime I went on my phone, I would see the picture and it would remind me to make sure that I was taking time out of my week to paint and to work towards my end goal with this Genius Hour project. So looking at my research journey, I kind of picked painting. I went through a few things first. I looked at cooking. I really enjoy cooking and doing something more like yoga. But once I found out we could do something a little more crafty, I wanted to do something that was fun and educational but also relaxing, which I thought painting would be a great thing for that, because I heard about how painting can be really cathartic and relaxing. So I decided instead to do that as well. I had many paint supplies, as it is something that I've always wanted to learn how to do but just never had the time. So I had paintbrushes and paint and some canvases already, so I decided that I was going to move forward with that. As well, I went to do my research on painting. I went on Pinterest and I looked at a bunch of different types of painting. I looked at watercoloring, using markers, and then just using traditional paint, which is what I decided to do. And again, as I said before, I picked flowers as I thought that that was something that was easy for a beginner, as I never really took lessons or painted anything serious before this. In addition to looking at Pinterest, I also just kind of Googled and researched a bit on colors and different paintbrushes and those different techniques to kind of help myself when I started, as again, I never really painted anything or done much with paint, so I kind of looked at that, because as I took this journey, I realized how much painting isn't just painting the object, it's mixing the colors and the shapes and the techniques, the way that you use your brush, all affects the way that it turns out. So doing that research helped as well. It just happened that I was in an art course for 6 weeks during this Genius Hour project, where I did do a little bit of the color wheel and working with some techniques there, which worked out great because I was able to learn how to mix main colors and learn about the color wheel, which really helped when I was making some of my pinks and oranges, and my periwinkle color was a mix of a light blue and a purple, so that really helped in my research of learning how to get the right color and the right technique with painting. So overall, I was able to complete this journey successfully, I like to think. I was able to create a final piece, a painting. It didn't turn out quite like the example that I had found on Pinterest, but it's cool because it's something a little bit more unique to me and something that I created myself. So overall, just looking at my experience with my Genius Hour project and some conclusions that I gained from this experience were that it is fun to get to do and learn something that you are passionate about and that you enjoy. And I really see this being something that would work well in the classroom to engage students in their learning as you are working every week towards your own goal in something that you want to achieve. So I found that aspect of it really fun and exciting because I looked forward to my painting every week because I was able to learn a new color technique or a new flower. Another conclusion that I did come to working on this Genius Hour project was that it is difficult to learn a topic yourself as well. You do need to put a lot of time and research into the topic that you are doing. So for me, the painting, I did have to have a lot of knowledge on the color mixing and what type of paints work well or mix together, or the shape of the flower. Not only did I have to research painting techniques, I also had to research flowers in general and what a hydrangea looks like or what a tulip looks like or a rose, whatever type of flower I was painting. I had to do research on the proper shape and form of what I was painting as well. So that was very important. And it is difficult to have to do research yourself, but it is very rewarding when you are able to go on and put the time and effort in, because again, it is something that you enjoy and that you want to learn. So I found when I was doing research on the painting or on flowers, it was a lot easier and I was a lot more engaged with what I was researching. Overall, looking at this Genius Hour experience, some implications that I could see for the future myself completing this journey is that I have become to enjoy painting, and it's been a part of my weekly life for the past 6 weeks. So I do think it is definitely something that I am going to continue with and to continue trying to paint new things, and maybe I'll move on from flowers and work on to something a little more difficult, as I do feel now that I have that background knowledge and experience with painting. So therefore I do see Genius Hour as being something very beneficial for the classroom, because not only does it teach you and your students whatever they choose at that current time, but it gives them the motivation and the ability to be able to continue learning and working towards an even bigger goal with whatever they chose. And for me, with the painting, I hope to work to be able to paint maybe faces next and work more on a lot more difficult techniques. Overall, I definitely enjoyed my experience with Genius Hour, and again, it is something that as a future educator I would love to incorporate into my classroom, as it is engaging and motivating for students and changes that outlook on education and gives them an opportunity to work towards a goal that they have set that they want to achieve. So overall, I had a great experience with this, and I really recommend to anybody, whether you're an educator, student, anyone out there, on working on a Genius Hour and documenting your experience and working towards a goal of something that you want to achieve. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk on Genius Hour. I hope you learned a lot of benefits on Genius Hour and how it works, and thanks for watching.